Hey friends, it's me Erin, your friendly neighborhood energy alchemist with today's Schumann resonance report for Sunday, April the 6th. How you doing? All right, you guys, I had a pretty wild dream last night and I'm going to need some input from all my alien people out there because I think I got some information that I don't know what to do with. So hang out. Let's take a look at the graph, shall we? All right, so this spike right here is about noon yesterday Central Time. Since about noon yesterday Central Time, we have been getting a steady, hardcore push of release energy. Very steady, and it's coming way down into the lower chakras, friends. So if your temper's been a little short, if you've been a little more reactive, if you've been a little more emotional than normal, please, I would just want you to understand you're just taking advantage of the energy being offered to you, and that's exactly what you want to do. It's like standing at the buffet and they're saying, "Are you done with that plate?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm totally done with this plate." You don't need to hang on to that dirty plate anymore. So when we look at the graph, this red energy, this is release energy. It started out with a full body spike at noon yesterday and it continued on down through now. We are still receiving this. It's really being offered to all of the chakras, starting with the crown and going all the way down to the root. It is more heavily involved in the heart and the solar plexus. Right in the middle is getting the most of this energy, but it is really all over the place. What I was told in meditation is that there's So what I heard was that the veil is so thin right now that a lot of us are remembering pieces of past lives, pieces of our karmic balance, all kinds of stuff. And it's being brought to the surface for acknowledgement so that we can let it go because we've tied up that karmic end and we're done with it. For some reason, the planet Jupiter was in my meditation. It rolled around right into my meditation. I got very little insight and I know nothing about astrology, so I can't tell you why I saw Jupiter, but it rolled around into my space and it was like it was pulsing or glowing, and I was looking at it as if it was sending us energy or it was receiving energy. Really hard for me to tell, but it was definitely rolled around into our space and it felt like it had an astrological connection. Again, I don't know astrology, so I don't know, but something about Jupiter? Seriously, this is what being an intuitive is about. It's about telling you what I'm getting and hoping you understand it, because I don't always understand it. With release energy, like I was saying, it tends to make us a bit more reactionary, a bit more emotional than we normally would be. So just do yourself a favor and take your time today. Give yourself permission to practice your pause. Don't set off on anything that you know already is going to be difficult to deal with if you can help it. Give yourself permission to just take it easy today. Let this energy soak in, because as releasing happens, you make room for this big white energy that's probably hanging out around your system just waiting for you to let go of the stuff that's done, right? You got to clear the table of the dirty plates before you can have the new meal. This is what's doing that, clearing the table of the dirty plate. Now, I want to tell you guys about the dream I had. You guys know I have pretty crazy dreams. This dream was different, and I don't know what to do with it because I feel like there was a message and I feel like I'm missing it. In the dream, I was talking to a group of people that seemed like a very normal group of people, and they told me that a person named Matthew wanted to speak to me. They said Matthew needed to talk to me about what I was working on, about my mission. And I remember thinking, oh, am I doing it wrong? And they told me, no, it's about the next step. And then they pointed to the stars and they said, you are from, and they gave me a name that I can't really remember, but it started with an IL or an ILI, and it was like Elion or Elium or something like that. And they pointed there and they said, you come from here. Now, I've never had a dream that was that clear about telling me where I come from. People have asked me before, do I feel drawn to any particular star system or alien race? And I never have, because I always have called myself, I feel like a traveler. I feel like I don't have a particular place, but that I travel, that I move around through time or dimensions or whatever. And I don't know if this has something to do with this. So I'm kind of calling on all my angel or my alien channelers to tell me, is this something? Am I missing something? Am I missing a few letters? Feels like it started with an I-L-I, I-L-L, I-L-E, illy, something, that sound, I don't know. Anywho, just sharing a little bit of the crazy with you. All right, here's our cards for today. So my guides have let me know that we are currently working out the consequences of balancing our karma. Now, please remember that consequences and karma are not necessarily negative. It's about balance, not about punishment. And it's also important to remember that you are an eternal being, so the karma that you carry is related to all of your life activities, not just this one. Because these things are very deeply rooted, it requires a lot of healing of some deep wounds. But once you allow those wounds to finally start to open up and heal, releasing the need for an explanation or closure or any of those things, and just letting the emotion leave you, it puts us back into a place of self-sufficiency. When we recognize that we are the ones in charge of our journey, that's when we can start to follow those inspired pursuits in earnest and really start to see ourselves through the new paradigm. But right now, things are very tumultuous, and it's because we are tying up some loose ends that are the consequences of balance and karma deeply tied in our root, helping us to heal some of these deep wounds, putting us back into a state of self-sufficiency. It's another beautiful but chilly day here in Illinois, so we're going to get started correctly. We're going to set our intentions and stay grounded in the present. Are you ready? All right, take a nice big deep breath in and release. Drop your shoulders. And just remember that today is a great day and it's just getting started. You can literally do anything you want with this day. So make it something that feels good and helps you feel more like yourself, friends. Come on, let's have this party together. Are you ready? Because I totally am. It's a great day, friends. It's a great day.